a lesson on how to give an Abhyanga for the Vata dosha, to pacify the Vata dosha. But it's also fairly tridoshic, but we're going to focus on pacifying the wind and the ether and the air elements in the body. And what I'd like to do is begin with Hari Om, and that's a sacred chant in India that is a great way to just bring in this state of choiceless passive awareness where I become one with my client and can anticipate her needs, and I activate the 3 higher chakras, this one, and this one. So do you want to chant with me?
Sure.
Okay. Hari Om. I'm going to begin with Mahanarayana oil. I would like to anoint your crown with this, and then I'm going to have your head back a little bit. Yeah, just making sure the hair is out of your eyes. So I'm lubricating her third eye. At the same time, my hands have oil and I'm on her forehead, third eye, the Ajna chakra, and letting this seep into her crown. And this is a really good oil for so many things. Maha means great, by the way. And Narayana is God. So this is my God oil. Now I'm going to let this flow down the spine. And I'm going to honor the circles, the directional flow of every little vertebrae. And this oil is warm. And these are the 7 chakras also, wheels of fire that I am acknowledging and enlivening by moving in these circular directions. Good, okay. Okay, Rose, let's have you lay back down onto the table. So if the oil gets in your client's eyes, it's actually okay, it's just a little awkward. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there is actually a therapy where you apply oil to the eyes, so it's not toxic to the eyes, it just might be a little blurry. Is it okay? How do you feel?
Good.
Do you need like something wet on your eyes?
No, maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, my right eye. It's my right eye. Yeah, that one. Just a little bit more.
Now we're going to take lemon. I had the lemon on the hot stone because you don't want to put a cold lemon on your client's feet. Can you smell?
Mm.
You got the smell of the lemon?
Mm-hmm.
Put the lemon right on the salt. And we're going to apply the lemon in circular motions on the soles of the feet to activate all the little chakras and energy points along the feet. And this lemon is a purification ritual, and it will actually draw out systemic toxins from the body. And the salt is also very purifying. And if the lemon turns black and the feet are not dirty, then that can mean that there are systemic toxins that were pulled out. You always want to get the bottom here where the heels are, because this is the colon. Okay. Now we're using castor oil. On the soles of her feet. This is warm castor oil. It's thick, emollient, And it has so many beneficial properties where even for the eyes, it increases vision. And this will remove systemic heat toxins, inflammations from the body. And what I'm going to do is some techniques called terminal clearance. Is I'm going to take the ankles with my inhale and exhale, clear it out. And we grab the ankle with the inhale, exhale, and I clap, making a noise, which is also very purifying, and I beam it with my third eye, so it turns to white light. And the other technique that's really nice, besides just your average massaging of the oil into the tissues, is to put the fingers between the toes, like this. And this opens the meridians in the body. And it begins the flow. So we worked on lubricating the crown chakra because that's important to begin the flow of healing. And now we're going to the other end of the body and we're activating the soles of the feet, getting more flow going. And I'm making a kind of a figure 8, an infinity sign with my thumbs. This is the direction I'm going. This is a very important point. The kidney and the heart live here. Okay, now you can, are you ticklish?
No.
No, okay. Now you can just let your foot relax. Okay, so I taught you terminal clearance, and then we open the energy between the toes, and now we're going to do the same thing here. And I'm moving in that infinity direction. How does it feel with my fingers between your toes?
I love that.
Okay, good. And now I'm going to pull with my breath and turn it to white light. And I'm just going to do a nice massage here to just get the oil in deeper. And my pressure is firm. And then the last technique I want to show you, besides pulling like this and moving the legs in a sway kind of rhythmic, almost like rocking the baby. This is a really nice technique. Clients love this as well, but your intention is to pull the directional flow from her body to her feet and away from her head so she can feel grounded in her body. Now I'm going to ask if I can, yes, you don't have to do anything, just as long as your knees don't hurt. You're okay with this?
I'm fine.
Okay, you see the spaces in her feet here, these arches, are actually the places on her feet that don't touch the earth because they rise up. So if you're someone with very high arches, that's a message to you that you need more grounding anyways if you're just genetically that way. So I'm going to cover the spaces and just hold for a moment so she can feel really grounded. I've got my weight on her feet and letting her feet feel completely full and complete. And now I'm going to rock the baby again. And this helps to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain when you rock side to side with the feet. In a rhythmic way, almost the same rhythm that kittens nurse their mommy. Can I put some warm towels on your feet?
No, yeah. If they were wet, should I put dry ones in here?
I'd like to just get this warm first and then put dry ones. Do you have some dry ones?
Yeah, there's some right above there.
Okay, I see.
One's in here.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna make this warm and cozy and just press the oil in deep, opening the pores of her feet and squeezing, compression. So part of Abhyanga, pacifying Vata dosha, is this technique of squeezing and compressing and wringing, and that her feet feel completely anchored into the earth now. There's not a lot of wind in her feet. And this towel is still pretty hot, so this is good. Okay, now I'm going to wrap her feet in little booties. Because when the feet are warm and cozy and she feels like there's some kind of weight on her feet in a gentle way, it can help her feel grounded during this massage. Especially if the towel is warm. Just pretend this towel is warm, Rose. Okay. This is where I like to put the warm stone between your toes.
Oh, those feel good.
Good. Okay, so now her feet are happy, and now we're going to go up to her head and do the... In the worst case, if you don't have a hand sanitizer, your lemon is your best sanitizer. It kills everything. I'm going to start with sesame oil. This is warm sesame oil. I like to begin with a cup under the chin. I create a well so the oil collects. And she can feel the warmth of the oil. Then I'm going to swish it around in circles. And we want to use copious amounts of oil. I know it looks messy, but you know what? It feels divine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you love it?
Mm-hmm.
I paid her to say that. You need this more than ever, don't you?
Yep.
I can tell. Now I'm working on the cervical spine and I'm squeezing and I'm wringing. And notice my movements are not hyper fast. They're just medium to slow. And will you let them know about the pressure? I'm squeezing, but not too hard, but there's still a squeeze.
Yeah. There's definitely pressure.
It's not,
but it doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. And it won't even be perceived as pain because you have so much oil. That oil takes away that feeling of like it's too much pressure. Okay, now I'm going to do the occipital hold. Just allow your brain to fall to the back of your skull and your tongue to soften and fall away from the front of your teeth. Let your jaw go and your eyes to roll back effortlessly. Let your whole body sink into the table. And you know when to let go when you feel just that subtle shift that her head got heavier. Like she just let go. I can feel she's still letting go. Good. And now I'm going to press the oil into her scalp. And the pressure should be medium, not too harsh. Tell me if I'm going in too harsh.
Not at all.
Okay, good. And then this looks like it might be disconcerting, but it actually feels really good. Dr. Ladd did this to me and I was like, wow. Okay. I'm going to do wave-like motions over her third eye. And this simulates Shirodhara, waves over the third eye. Make it rhythmic and make it soft. Use your whole hand, palm of the hand, all the way to the tip of the hand. I have a little hair that you might feel, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little hair might be a little bugger, but I can't get it off easily. That's okay. I think I got it. Well, maybe not.
No, there's probably another one.
It's okay. We got most of it.
That's why I need that oil.
Yeah, we're going to get you some Briar and Garage is the oil that I couldn't think of the name earlier. Briar and Garage. And Brahmi oil and coconut oil. All are so good for the head and for the hair, and castor oil. And this removes negative electrical impulses that accumulate at the skull, the hairline, from stress, believe it or not. You know when a mommy is soothing her child to go to bed and she does this to her child like this? That's exactly what I'm doing here. It's very soothing and it removes stress if there's no little hairs bugging you. Sorry about that. Okay. I think we got them. Okay. I could have someone do this to me all day long.
I know.
Oh my gosh. The first marma that I'd like to begin with on her face is the one at her chin. This is a marma point that activates and balances hormonal issues. And it also helps connect the head and the heart, believe it or not. When you're making a decision and you're trying to incorporate a balanced decision between head and heart, you've probably seen people do it inadvertently when they're thinking. They do this. Let me think about it. Have you seen people? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is a very good place for clarity, bringing clarity between head and heart. And then I'm going to move at the pace an ant would walk. Very slow and intentional, with firm pressure all the way to the terminal ends on the head, which are ears and crown. And pull out and purify. And I'll do one more. I'm deeply under her jawbone as well, because there are some salivary glands under there that, when activated, begin the flow. Now we're going to go to the next marma, and this is also really good for reproduction. Balancing hormonal issues there. And I'm moving underneath the cheekbones, very firm pressure. Intentional, slow, confident strokes and out the ears. One more time, 2 passes on each. And notice my whole hand is touching her. I'm not just using my thumbs. And my hands are not shaky. They're firm and confident. And now I'm going to activate the respiratory points and create a mudra. When you connect your thumbs and shoot your fingers straight out, you're moving the energy down to the feet. You're telling the body, Apanavayu, which is the directional flow, the Sanskrit name for the downward flow, connecting her body to the earth. And now I'm going to go side to side, activating the right and left hemispheres of the brain. I want to be careful of these 2 points, because if you squeeze the nostrils in too tightly, your client will lose trust in you because they won't be able to breathe. So keep your fingers far enough apart that you don't squeeze the nostrils in, even slightly. People are very protective about their breathing passages. Good. Now we're going to do a technique that Dr. Ladd actually taught this technique in class, and he did it to me, and I thought it looked like it would be, a little bit disruptive, but it actually felt so grounding to me, and I mastered it. I love it, and I do it to all my clients. You want to make sure, again, you don't cut off the respiration, the nose. You do that without them panicking. So I'm on the actual bones of the nose. I'm not touching the soft tissue of the nose, and I'm pressing into her sinuses. So this is an amazing sinus release. At the same time, I'm triggering cervical synovial fluid because she is not using her muscles to move her head. Instead, I'm moving her head. That means the joint capsules in the cervical spine are wide open to receive synovial fluid, lubricating the neck, fixing all kinds of neck pain. And this is called Shankamarma. This is one of the bigger marmas on the head. It's a big opening. And this is where people get tense from over-reading, over-computering, overthinking. And what I do is stop after I've circled around a little while and activated and moved the marma. Now I stop and I send a stream of whatever color comes into my third eye. So violet came in. So I'm sending a violet stream through my fingers, right through her head, back and forth, back and forth. The violet light is clearing mental ama. Ama is Sanskrit word for toxins. Giving her mental clarity, peace of mind. Good. And now I'm going to go into the liver marma and the spleen marma. They're little divots. You can feel them in the bone there. I'm activating them, pressing them, and I'm going to drop all the fingers. And these Vata Pitta Kapha fingers are now balancing the nervous system. Connect your thumbs and you make a mudra. Pulling gently, but not too harsh. It should be confident, but not heavy. And then there's little marmas in here. A little hair here again. Little marmas in the corners where we're in the orbit of the eye, and they're at the edge of the orbit. And this can make the eyes water up a little bit. It brings in, it lubricates the eyes. It asks the eyes to send some, activates the tear ducts, in other words. And it feels so nice. Good. And now I'm going to go back to the Shirodhara wave. Okay, now let's start with Karnapurna. Can I put oil in your ears? Okay, yes. Karnapurna is a Sanskrit modality that means ear purification or rejuvenation. Karna is actually the word for ear. And this is sesame oil. It's warm. And before I apply it, just to develop trust with my client, is the temperature of this bottle comfortable? It's warm, like warmish. And you don't want to put cold oil in anybody's ear. And I'm going to put it on this little point here called Udharva Marma. It's the place where people pierce their ears sometimes, but it's a junction point, and it helps with Shakti in the body, as well as if you have distracted mind, distracted thinking, ADD. And I'm going to fill the ear. And let it just fill and stay for a moment. Keeping the lip elevated. And now I'm going to take my body so that there's nothing crossed. I don't have my arms crossed. My heart is wide open here. And I'm putting my thumbs inside the ear. And her experience will feel or hear, she'll hear squish, squish. And you don't want you to go really fast. I've seen people do this really fast and it makes, the noise is just so disconcerting. So you want to go at a slow pace and soften the cartilage around the ear and inside the ear, because this is the spine right here that I'm softening. And I'm pulling pretty firmly. And this isn't a time to have a conversation with your client. Now they're gone inward. They don't want to hear. They want to go inward. They can't really hear well anyways because the oil is in their ears, but it isn't a time to start talking. And now I'm going to activate the marma points behind and in front. Firm pressure. And then moving down the sternocleidomastoid. Firm pressure, because the ear canal goes all the way down here. And if someone doesn't do this part of Karnapurna, I feel like it wasn't complete. I really like this feeling of bringing it down. And you can tell someone's energy levels. If their ears are really tight and stiff, that their energy in their body is not flowing. So the goal here is to soften the cartilage and soften the ears so that the flow of energy in the body can begin again. Because as soon as we have stagnation in the body, disease begins. So keeping the ears soft, you can even practice while you're driving, keep your ears soft. Because you've seen the baby's ears are like silly putty, and they have plenty of energy. So what does this really do? This actually will help with earwax. It liquefies earwax. So over the next couple of days, wax might come out of your ears, and you want to say to your client at the end, take a Q-tip, don't dig in, but just around the edges to collect the wax that might have come out, because like dissolves like, and oil is wax-like. And this also is like a baby. You can see the embryo in the ear. It's like an all curled up fetus. And this will bring back embryonic memories. So what were the memories in the embryo when you were an embryo? Those will resurface. This is also one of the greatest craniosacral treatments ever. So the bones in the head are being nourished, and all the sutures and the joints in the bones in the head are going back into place. It's almost like the Tin Man just needed to oil up the brain, because overthinking and stress, our bones move out of place. This just puts everything back in line. Okay, now I'm gonna take the oil out, let it drain. You make a kind of a squished up tissue like this, place it on the ear, and then turn the head, but you want to keep a spider hold. So it's like this. If you flatten it, the oil won't come out as well. It'll be uncomfortable for the client. And you might hear glub, glub, glub. Tell me when it's all out and there's no more glubbing. It's out?
I think it's out now, yeah.
Okay.
No glub.
I'm going to leave the tissue there so any remaining oil can go into the tissue. And let's do the other side. Oh, thanks. That was magical. Okay, so now I've made a lip. See how I've scissored the ear and my hand is firm on the head. It's really important. You don't want to be like light and twitchy and not confident and, shaky. You want to place your hand firmly on the head. Lift the lip of the ear with your pointer finger. You steady the head this way. And let's go for the Udaharva Marma activation. And we let it flow all the way, maybe a little more. There. So when we fill the orifices in the body, the spaces in the body, we're inviting Vata, the wind element, the ether and air elements, to go back to the colon, return home. This helps reduce anxiety. It helps with insomnia. Helps with just general well-being, feeling of being balanced. Now notice I'm not massaging from over here because that would be awkward. I turned myself so that I can have my heart in the same direction as the ears, and I've got my thumbs along the spine and my fingers are behind the ears. And she has really soft ears, so she's got a good amount of energy. Her spine is not rigid. Remember, your pace is so important because she hears swish, swish, swish. And now I'm going to activate the little marmas in front of the ears and behind the ears with some good pressure. And moving down the sternocleidomastoid. I told you guys that the Sanskrit word for love is snehan, right? Did I finish telling you that that's the same word for oil?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's the same word, snehan, love, and oil. So we're putting love in her ears. Tell me when you hear glub, 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 and then it's done. It's good. Yeah. You remember how to get the oil out of the ear? Do it like a little suction. You cup the ear. I'm just going to throw an example for the video. It's all out here. I'm going to just get it so it's patted dry. So just to show an example of, you make a suction with your palm, turn the head, and then pull it. And you can hear the sound of the suction. Even though her oil wasn't stuck, I just figured I'd show. Okay. Now I'm gonna work on shoulders and neck. Yay! Yay! I can tell you're stressed because you're losing your hair. Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness.
I know.
I gave you I have some hair loss remedies I can tell you about. Okay, now we're going to do the nasya, but can I drop this table down? Oh, yeah, it's perfect. And now I'm going to put something underneath, a little towel just to lift your chest. There, see the angle that she's at? You have to ask your clients if their neck is comfortable just for a moment this way. You all right?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to use Super Nasya. Oh, I forgot you actually had ear oil here.
I wondered when you poured it in there, right?
I know, I was
going to ask you that.
I just used sesame.
You did?
Yeah, but that's fine.
I figured because you poured it in.
It is the main root of this ear oil, is the base.
Yeah.
This is the ear oil you can get. If you wanted to get all the other herbs in there. This is Nasya, and it is specifically designed for the nostrils and the sinuses. So what I'm going to do is create a little piggy nose, and it'll give me more room to apply this in the right way so her nostrils can open a little. And there are 5 points along the nose that we're going to apply these drops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is the direction you go in. Earth, fire, air, water, ether is in the center. Take a sniff in. Good. Exhale through the mouth. And you massage it in and when they're breathing out through the mouth. And now you can do another inhale through the nose. Good. And that's like when the divers go deep underwater and they do that little suction with their nose. It'll send the oil in deeper that way. So those points around the nose, the directional flow goes like this. Okay, we start here at the earth element. This is the earth element. This is the fire element. This is the air element. And this is the water element. And smack in the middle is ether. Again, earth, fire, air, water, ether in the middle. And then make sure you drain it into the sinuses and let that oil go toward the sinuses as opposed to the throat, because they won't like you if it goes into the throat. It won't feel good. So what I usually tell my clients while I'm doing all this is this will help to brighten your eyes, and I'm moving the flow downward to bring that oil, invite the oil deeper into the sinuses. Not only brighten the eyes, but mental clarity, more intelligence, better memory, and it will help with headache, insomnia. And if you have any kind of blockages or sensitivities in your sinuses, this will nourish and purify the sinus cavities, as well as add to the craniosacral treatment that we're doing here. So all the bones in the head can start to relax and go back to where they need to go. This is one of the greatest remedies for TMJ and headache. Right in here, you can just let your jaw go. Think of your sinuses expanding. Eyes are brightening. Good. Does it feel like it went into your sinuses and you're good?
Yeah.
Okay. How do your eyes feel?
They feel good.
Okay, good.
That last time, I felt I could feel it more in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel it.
In the throat?
In the eyes.
In the eyes.
Yeah, it brightens.
It brightens your eyes.
Yeah,
yes.
It does.
It really does.
Takes
It removes toxins from the eyes too. Okay, now we're going to continue on with Abhyanga, and one really nice treatment for the chest or the décolleté is what I'm going to show you. So anointing the skin with oil is really a big part of Abhyanga. Instead of applying it to your hands, rubbing your hands together and then putting it on your client's body, you put the oil directly. It's anointing. And when you anoint the body, the skin with oil, it actually opens the marmas and the chakras. And I'm going to go in a slow, deliberate, intentional pace. And I'm going to keep it rhythmic because rhythm and rocking is so pacifying, soothing. And my hands are wide. And this should feel grounding, but yet enlivening. Is the pressure okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so for the neck, I'm honoring the direction this way, the flow, the way it moves in circles. And then we're going to focus on lines and circles and lines and circles. So you could see that this technique was going lines, following the pectoral muscles that start here and go this direction. And then when I went here, you see I turned at the shoulders. Turning right here at the shoulders. So the shoulders need that circular turn because we want to honor the circles in the shoulders and the lines in the fiber of the muscles, the direction of the muscles. Okay. And your draping should be really secure because you don't want clients to feel like, well, if the wind blows, I'm going to be exposed, or something, and it makes people feel insecure. I always just, even if it feels like a little bit light, I put my boundaries with my hands along this part so she knows I know her boundary. It's all the unspoken subtleties. Okay, now I'm going to apply the oil. Is it okay if I get your bracelet oil?
Oh yeah, it's fine. Should I take it off?
Do you want to take it off? Too late now. It's oiled.
No, there's stones. They're not gonna.
Okay, I'm putting my weight over my hands, compressing. I'm moving slowly, grounding her arm into the table, full stroke off terminal clearance. White light. So this is the terminal clearance part of the arm. Now I'm going to do circles around the joint. Honoring the lines in the biceps and the triceps, and I'm squeezing and wringing, compressing the ether and air out of the tissues. And I'm going to move in this circular motion around the elbows. Pull out through each finger. I want you guys to get this. Aim it to white light, and now I'm going to honor the circles. This is the heart marma, so I'm just opening the heart. I put my fingers between her hands like this. My pinkies are between her fingers. Now you can just let your arm be like a sack of potatoes. Okay, again, I'm going to drape her with good boundaries. Anointing. This is warm, delicious oil, pure sesame. Squeezing, wringing, getting every part of her arm oiled up. Now I'm going to put some weight over her arm, compress the arm, wide, big energy hands. And then circles around the shoulder. And I just feel this need to go like this across her back. So I'm going to honor that feeling. Now I'm going to do circles around the elbow. Lines along the forearm. And circles around the wrists. I forgot the circles on the other wrist. Sorry about that. I'll make it up to you. Okay. And now I'm going to pull terminal clearance out the fingers. opening the heart chakra. One last terminal clearance here. I'm going to start from her neck here because it just feels so good. Okay. Can I put something over your eyes so you can totally let go?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any nice spray like lavender or rose? So what I do is I don't spray out my client because that's like a war. You want to spray out the tissue and then it mists over their eyes. Fold that tissue in half as much as you can, and then you can, it's wet so it has stiction now, and I cover the ears, press the tissue deep into her eyes, and this is a moment. It feels so nice. The senses are being shut down, eyes and ears, and the tissue should stick really well, and then the light won't bother her. I'll use this. Great way to drape is to just cover her up like this on top, take the blanket underneath and hold this, and it stays. Now we're going to do, they call it Nabi Basti. Nabi is the belly button. Oh, you had a appendix out like I did.
I did.
Castor oil is the best oil for the belly. We're going to fill the belly button up. Remember, spaces in the body need to be filled with oil to pacify Vata. And castor oil is just so amazing on any place, really, but on the belly specifically will help with increasing the white blood cells and immunity, breaking down any kind of adhesions, especially if you've had a little surgery here. It also breaks down tumors, cysts, excess earth, things that don't belong. Helps improve digestion, gets rid of gas and inflammation. And now I'm moving in a very intentional direction. This is called Samana Vayu. Vayu meaning direction, Samana meaning the directional flow, like clockwise here. The way this digestion is this is the direction here of the upper.
Ascending?
Ascending, thank you. I was losing my thought. And then transverse colon, and then descending colon. And you want it to be like a flow. You want to move in this rhythmic circle. I call it the rainbow move because on my left hand, the mother hand, is making a rainbow around the father hand. Good, I'm going to just sandwich her and just send some energy into the sacrum, into the colon. So my intention here is to send light, whatever color light comes to me. Help clear this area so that it can detoxify. White light. And now I'm going to do something called Surabi Mudra. It's when you take all your fingers together, all the energy in your hands together. I usually stand at the corner of the table. You can either go in the belly button. I don't like anything in my belly button, so I don't like it to be right on it, but I like it just below it. I'll ask you, what do you like, Rose? Can I go right in it?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, take a deep breath. Big Buddha belly breath. Exhale through your nose when you're ready. And as they exhale, you press down to the table and down to her feet at the same time.
Ooh.
How did that feel? Did it hurt?
No.
Oh, okay, good. I'm just bringing more flow down to the body. if we had a big hot stone, imagine I would put a big hot stone right there. So I see the boundary I've just created. I took this piece here and the piece of the sheet here and I made a line. I pulled it, taut, and then pressed down so she knows that I know that that's a boundary. And boundaries are so important when you're pacifying Vata. Structure is so important. Okay, we're going to anoint and chase. Starting at the hips, I'm putting pressure and compressing the quads while lubricating at the same time. Terminal clearance. The pace should be slow, controlled, intentional, confident, and filled with love. Squeezing. Can you feel me squeezing you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a squeezing motion. It's not like my fingers are activated here. I'm not like lightly doing this. I've got a squeeze, a grip, wringing and squeezing the tissues of her leg. My heart over my hands. My eyes are looking directly at my hands and where I am intending to send the love and the healing. There is just a really good marma point right in here. And I forget the name of the. It's in Chinese medicine. It's the liver, right here. It's a little tender on most people. Does it feel tender on you? No. Okay, good. And after I activate, so it's right here. This you want to clear this with everybody, women, men. This area, if it's clogged up, liver gets clogged. This is a unclogged liver point. And I use like a rake with my fingers to rake it. And then I move right into the circles around the knees from there. God, I love circles around the knees. Doesn't that feel so good? Mm-hmm. Good, honoring the lines and the quadricep. And now I'm going to do circles around the hips. Hand over hand, that rainbow technique. And it should be rhythmic. Okay, now I'm going to go to the ankles. And circles around the ankles. And a really nice technique for circling the ankles is, I call it the choo-choo train. I can't decide which one I like better, the choo-choo train or the rainbow technique. What do you like better, Rose?
Well,
would you say both? It's hard to talk.
The choo-choo train is more visually, okay, I picture it.
Yes.
But what was the other one? What was the
rainbow?
Rainbow? The rainbow.
Yeah, whenever it doesn't have to necessarily be rainbow. This is a whole nother one here. I've got both hands going. Does that one, which one do you like better? Good to know, because then you can know what your clients are experiencing. They both feel really good. It's hard to decide. I like them all. Then you can do them all.
Yeah.
Clearance.
They both feel great.
Okay, now there's a great marma point here called Charana Marma. It's also in Chinese medicine, 3 more miles. It's a point called 3 more miles. Mm. And it's right here. So see where the the tibialis anterior, I haven't said that word in so long, it got all mixed up. This, like, how do I explain it? Here's another way to find it. You go to the bottom of the patella with 4 fingers, and her hands are about the same size as mine. And at the bottom of the patella, 4 fingers together, right there is Charana Marma. And I'm just going to open it. If it feels like it doesn't push back and it feels like deficient and you can't, like, there's nothing squishy in there, then this person feels depleted and her energies are really low and immune system's down, but she has a pushback here, so this is good. So Marma therapy is remedial, both remedial and diagnostic. Okay, now I'm going to move right down the tibialis anterior. And there's one other little Marma point that I'll show you about. And this is not a Marma class, but these, I like to activate these before I finish. And this is called the terminal hole, and there's a little spot here. It's also on Chinese medicine. Can you feel that spot? Yeah, it's a little tender. It's the junction of the kidney, liver, and spleen. And I'm just opening it up. And then making nice with the mother hand. Left hand is the mother hand, the make nice hand. Good, so we review it again. We found Charana Marma by 4 fingers here, and there it was. Charana Marma on, so she does dorsiflexion. Flexion, this muscle bumps up, and it's right at the belly of when it bumps up, and then you can let go. So it should be right there, and then the terminal hole is usually 4 fingers from the ankle bone, and then you find this little spot on the inside of the tibia. Right there. Okay, I think I showed you everything on the leg. All right, and if this client was gonna have to go to work after, I would take the warm, wet towel and press the oil deeper in and sort of get the oil to go deeper, but also clean it off. But you're not going to work right after. Leave it on. Another strong boundary. Anointing and dragging the oil. Here we go. This is why they have wooden tables in India. Now I'm lubricating and squeezing, wide compression. And activating Apanavaya, pulling down, doing terminal clearance. And let's do the circles around the hips. This is that rainbow technique. And here's that little liver spot that we try to clear out. Right there. Waking it.
I think of Shakti Urvi.
What'd you say?
I think of Shakti Urvi. I think that's right.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's right above.
And then once you've got this technique of clearing the liver, you're in the perfect position to start the circles around the knees. I like to take my thumb around the patella. And you could also do the choo-choo train on the knees here too. Now we're going to activate those marma points. Remember the 4 fingers. There's the patella, the end, 4 fingers. Go right to the belly of the tibialis anterior. This little muscle right here, when she lifts up, you can see it bump up. It's right there. Okay, you can relax. And you want to give it a soft pressure. You don't want to push too hard because there are little sacs underneath these marma points that can rupture if you push too hard. So just enough to activate them. You can move in circles. You can follow your intuition of how you want to activate it. You can just hold it still. You can use crystals on these points, hot stones, so many things, essential oils. And this, in Chinese medicine, 3 more miles. This is one of the major points in the body for energy. There's a story that 3 more miles came from. There was a race in China, and this one guy, you know, he wasn't in the running. He was kind of dragging into the back of the group and didn't look like he was going to win. And then he stopped, and he took the time to activate this point. After he activated this point, his fellow men were, you know, his colleagues, the competitors were way ahead. But this point pushed him so far ahead that he actually won the race. Love that. He was smart. He didn't kill himself. He didn't try to push really hard in the beginning. He knew that if he waited and pushed this point, he would win the race midway. Again, that terminal hole. 4 fingers from the ankle bone, and there's a little divot right in here. You can feel it inside the tibia. Right there's yours. Kidney, liver, spleen, and I'm just activating it. Sometimes it's tender. Is it tender on you? No? Okay, good. Good. Make nice with the mother hand. And one full sweep down. Now I need help with this table. I need to make it flat. First thing we do is start on the left side of the body because it's the receptive side, the female side, and I'm going to do a heart basti. It's warm sesame oil, but it would be so nice if it was specific herbal oil with Arjuna, other heart herbs, Punarnava. Just let it sit in the heart area, heart space, nourishing her heart, healing any fractures. And you don't tell your clients this, but I'm telling the camera this and you all, that I just put the oil down the crack of the butt.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. That's what Rose just said. Why do you do that? Is did you want the reproductive organs to also be lubricated? Because this is a purification, rejuvenation for every part of the body you can possibly get without touching. And I'm honoring the circles on the hips here. Pushing down for Apanavayu, and then pulling up for terminal clearance through the head. Putting my weight right over my hands. I've got that little bone here. I don't know if you all have a bone there in your hand. Just my little bone sticks out, and it's really convenient to press in, so I don't have to use my fingers. Now we're going to honor these circles and lines on the side of the body. We're moving at a rhythmic, slow pace. I'm kind of raking, like my fingers are, the tips of my fingers are digging in. There's actually meridians, belt meridian they call it, that goes in this direction. And now I'm going to go to the other side. And circles all the way down, rainbow technique, honoring all the circles in the spine. So you see the mother hand makes the top of the rainbow, father hand stays steady on the body in circles. And you just keep this rhythm going. And I'm going to honor the circles around her shoulders. And down. Back up. And down. So these are circles, straight lines, circles, straight lines, circles, and straight lines. Circles around the shoulders. Straight lines and circles. Straight lines and circles. Notice I'm bringing my heart with me every time I do this. I'm not using my arms, extending them. I'm following my heart over my hands to keep this a steady, rhythmic, balanced technique. So much more we could do. I know you're all getting hungry for lunch. Again, a really firm technique where I take one end and the other end and I make a line. Even if it's an imaginary line and it's not fully tucked, at least she knows, I know her boundary. We're going to anoint and chase the oil down in the direction of the feet. And I'm going to go slow with compression. And intention, my intention is to squeeze the air and wind out of the tissues from accumulated stress. Now I'm going to honor the circles on the hips, rainbow technique. This feels so nice. Now I'm going to honor the lines on the hamstrings. Pressing in. And now we can do the circles around the knees. And lines on the calves. I like to anchor the ankle because it gives the client a sense of, well, I don't have to do anything here. I can just let go and she can just press and my foot's not going to flop around. And I'm going to lift up. And this is optional. You don't have to do this one exactly. And I like doing the circles around the ankles this way. I also like to just lift it up like this and get this angle. Last terminal clearance with my breath. And if she was going somewhere, like I said, I would take a hot towel, like I did to her feet. A hot, wet towel. And I can actually do that to your spine. You're going to love when you do it to your spine. Circles around the hips. Rainbow technique. It's not light. It's definitely, I'm putting some pressure here. So I'm doing the lines on the hamstrings. Heart over hands, and now the circles on the knees. And my breath as a therapist is the Ujjayi breath. I don't breathe out my mouth, just in case I didn't mention that before. Have you ever had a massage therapist breathing the whole time? I hate that. Lines on the calves. And then we can lift the foot and do the ankles. One last sweep. Now this is probably the best part. Most of my clients love this part if they have to go to work. Some of them just lie and say they have to go to work just so I do this part to them. Because they love the hot oil and the hot towels. It feels so good. Is that temperature okay?
Just a teeny bit.
Okay.
Too hot.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So we press it in, press the oil in with your body weight. And then take the tip of this towel, and you can scissor it here, and use your forearms and drag it down. Good. How'd that feel? Good. Okay, so the last thing I like to do here is a full sweep down the body, activating terminal clearance and Apanavayu. So I'm going to do that. Grab the energy at the head. Visualize little roots growing out of the soles of her feet, connecting her into the deepest part of the earth. We'll do a little sound healing. The colors in these peacock feathers, these bright colors actually have constituents that are like sage and will purify your client's energy. So what you just pulled out of her tissues may actually be pulled out, but they may be hovering in the koshas. Like what if, we had an elbow issue or shoulder issue, pulled it out and it's there, and 3 days later it goes back. So we're going to clear the koshas now so that it doesn't go back. Whatever we pulled out is gone. You ready, Rose, to let it all go?
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful, you are clear now. Put these here. And now I'm gonna do one last thing where we grab the client's energy body, the pranamaya kosha, which is right at the outside of the ears, or it's actually along the whole body, but I like to feel like it's like almost like a membrane that spongy right outside the head. Once I get it, I'm gonna grab it with my inhale and I'm gonna pull it and stretch it. As above, so below. And then this color comes in. I got orange. I got orange color for you, Rose. I filled your little bubble with orange, so you are all bubbled up in orange.
Orange is healthy.
Yeah, it is. All right, my friend, slowly get up. You don't have to jump up. Just slowly get up. We'll have some warm water waiting for you.